When you watch this video for the first time, it looks like everything goes wrong in just a few seconds. But accidents like this usually begin much earlier. So the real question is, what was the first mistake in the chain? In this video, we will compare the footage with the official investigation, and by the end, you will be able to decide for yourself. Pilot error, mechanical failure, or something deeper? Watch until the end, then tell me what you think in the comments. April 16th, 2024, Sussex, New Jersey. A Cessna 150L was landing at Sussex Airport during a solo student flight. And here's the part that matters. This was not an engine failure. The airplane drifted right of the runway centerline in a gusting left crosswind. The pilot started a go-around, but the stall warning sounded almost immediately. Seconds later, the airplane rolled left and hit the ground. The NTSB found no pre-impact mechanical failure. The confirmed cause was loss of control during the go-around, leading to an aerodynamic stall. The pilot survived with minor injuries. So what do you think happened here? Was the go-around started too late? Or did the crosswind leave the student pilot with almost no margin? April 15th, 2024, Shelbyville, Tennessee. A solo student pilot in a Cessna 172M was returning from a cross-country training flight. The first touchdown did not end the landing. It became the warning. The airplane arrived high on final, touched down, and bounced. Then it bounced again, harder. Instead of stabilizing, the landing got away from the pilot. The airplane veered off the right side of the runway and flipped onto its nose. Investigators confirmed the cause: improper recovery from a bounced landing, followed by loss of directional control and a runway excursion. The pilot was not injured. After a bounce like that, would you keep trying to land or go around immediately? April 8th, 2024, Portales, New Mexico. A Cessna 195B was taking off from Portales Municipal Airport. The runway was clear, the airplane had just been refueled, but the wind was the problem. Witnesses believe the airplane was taking off in the wrong direction, with a quartering tailwind pushing from behind. During the takeoff roll, the tail stayed low, the airplane became harder to control, and it started moving right. Then, before it could climb away, it went off the runway and was badly damaged. The NTSB found that the pilot's decision to take off with a quartering tailwind led to a loss of directional control. Improper elevator inputs also contributed. 3 people had minor injuries. Would you call this a wind problem or a decision problem? March 25th, 2024, Knoxville, Tennessee. A SeaRey amphibious airplane was practicing water landings near Knoxville Downtown Island Airport. In this type of airplane, the landing checklist changes with the surface. On a runway, the wheels must be down. On water, they must be up. That single configuration mistake turned a training landing into an accident. The airplane flipped over and came to rest upside down. The NTSB found no pre-impact mechanical failure. The confirmed cause was the pilot's failure to retract the landing gear before landing on water. The pilot survived with minor injuries. Was this just one missed checklist item, or the kind of mistake amphibious pilots have to guard against every time? February 20th, 2024, Charleston, Mississippi. A Cessna 182P was being flown to its new owner when the flight started turning into a fight for control. The strange part is this: the engine was still running during the approaches, but the pilot was dealing with a left yaw and fuel starvation concerns. During the flight, switching to the left fuel tank twice caused the engine to lose power. The pilot went back to both tanks and diverted. On landing, the airplane was not stabilized. It approached fast, uncoordinated, with the flaps retracted. After 2 go-arounds, the final attempt ended off the runway. Investigators found that the left fuel cap did not vent properly, reducing fuel flow from the left tank. But the final cause was loss of aircraft control during the approach. The airplane was destroyed, and the pilot was seriously injured. So what stands out more to you here? The fuel problem, or continuing an unstable approach when the airplane was already hard to control?
Hey, y'all, watch out. Watch out. Oh, they crashed. Fuck!
January 30th, 2024, Concord, California. A Vans RV-6 was doing touch-and-go landings at Buchanan Field Airport. After takeoff, the engine lost power at low altitude. The airplane turned left, lost control, and crashed. Investigators found a separated fuel line. The NTSB confirmed the cause: total loss of engine power during takeoff, followed by failure to maintain control. The report also listed the pilot's medical condition and impairing substances as contributing factors. The pilot did not survive. What do you think the pilot should have done in those final seconds? Write your opinion in the comments. December 16th, 2023, Corona, California. A Vans RV-8 took off from Corona Municipal Airport on its first flight after being painted. That detail matters because the problem was not found in the airframe, it was found in the fuel system. Witnesses heard the engine missing and producing only partial power during takeoff. The airplane lifted off, climbed to about 95 feet, then began descending in a left turn. Investigators found fuel tank sealer material inside the fuel system. The confirmed cause was fuel contamination from improper tank sealant application, which led to a partial loss of engine power after takeoff. The pilot and passenger did not survive. December 8th, 2023, Anchor Point, Alaska. A Piper PA-18 150 Super Cub was flying from King Salmon toward Homer. This accident is unusual because the video did not capture the start of the failure. It only showed the airplane already falling in an inverted flat spin, with the left wing partially separated. GPS data showed the descent rate suddenly increased as the airplane crossed the shoreline. Investigators found no engine failure and no pre-existing wing fracture. The NTSB determined that the left wing had been struck by an object at an unknown time for reasons they could not determine. That impact damaged the wing structure, partially separated the wing, and made the airplane uncontrollable. The pilot and passenger did not survive. December 2nd, 2023, Big Bear, California. A Cessna P210N had just refueled at Big Bear City Airport and departed for Fullerton. The airplane lifted off normally, but the problem came almost immediately. At about 40 feet above the ground, the engine began losing power. The pilot had no time to troubleshoot and tried to put the airplane back on the remaining runway. It could not stop in time. The airplane overran the runway, hit a fence, crossed a road, and nosed over in soft soil. Investigators found no pre-impact mechanical failure. The NTSB confirmed a loss of engine power during the initial climb, but the reason for the power loss could not be determined. The pilot was seriously injured. What do you think this was? A hidden mechanical problem? Or a pilot decision that left too little runway to stop? November 13th, 2023, Hayden, Idaho. A Cessna 310D departed Coeur d'Alene Airport on a personal flight. Here is the part that stands out. This was a twin-engine airplane, but the report says the pilot did not hold a multi-engine rating. Then another problem appeared in the air. The left engine throttle would not respond normally, and the pilot reported it would not reduce below 21 inches of manifold pressure. He turned back for a precautionary landing. But on final approach, the airplane got too slow, pitched up, rolled left, and stalled before reaching the runway. Investigators found an improper throttle cable installation on the left engine. The NTSB confirmed the cause. The pilot failed to maintain enough airspeed during the precautionary landing, leading to a stall and loss of control. Improper maintenance contributed by causing partial loss of throttle control on the left engine. The pilot survived with minor injuries. October 20th, 2023, Jackson, Tennessee. A Piper PA-28-180 was landing at McKellar-Sipes Regional Airport. This one will make pilots argue, because the airplane was already on the runway. There was no reported mechanical failure. The wind was gusting, the pilot had already gone around once, and the next landing ended with a loss of directional control. The nose gear collapsed, and the airplane sustained substantial damage. After the accident, the pilot wrote that another go-around and an updated wind report may have prevented it. The NTSB listed the defining event as loss of control on the ground. All 3 people on board were not injured. October 17th, 2023, Ocala, Florida. A Tecnam P2010 departed Ocala International Airport on an instructional flight. This case will split pilots. The engine quit at only 300 to 400 feet after a normal run-up and no warning signs. The instructor took control and aimed for the grass near the runway, but witnesses said the airplane looked slow, and one witness said the nose was not lowered. Just before impact, the left wing dropped. Investigators found no mechanical failure that explained the engine power loss. The NTSB confirmed a total loss of engine power for reasons that could not be determined. But the report also said the instructor failed to maintain enough airspeed during the forced landing. Both pilots were seriously injured. October 12, 2023, Patterson, Louisiana. A Cessna 414 landed at Harry P. Williams Memorial Airport to pick up a passenger. The engine stayed running while the passenger boarded. Then the airplane taxied back out and took off again. That quick stop matters because investigators later found the elevator trim in a strong nose-up position. On takeoff, the airplane pitched up, stalled, rolled through inverted, and went down near the departure end of the runway. The engines were not the problem. Both propellers showed signs of power at impact. The NTSB confirmed the cause. The pilot did not properly set the elevator trim before takeoff. That trim setting likely forced the nose up, pushed the airplane past its critical angle of attack, and led to an aerodynamic stall. The pilot and passenger did not survive. October 9th, 2023, Crandall, Texas. This was not an airplane. It was a hydrogen balloon. And before the crash, the crew reported hearing gunfire from the ground. They were low, it was getting dark, and they continued the landing. But the landing path carried the balloon toward power lines near a substation. The crew tried to clear them, then vented gas to force the balloon down. The basket hit the ground, but the envelope contacted the power lines. The remaining hydrogen ignited. The NTSB confirmed the cause: inadequate descent planning, which led to power line contact and a hydrogen explosion. Both crew members were seriously injured. September 22nd, 2023, Arlington, Washington. A Golden Circle T-Bird II was doing short practice takeoff runs at Arlington Municipal Airport. On the final run, witnesses said the airplane looked uncontrolled almost immediately. One witness said the pilot appeared surprised, with one hand holding a structural tube. The engine sounded smooth. Then the airplane turned right, the left wing separated, and it dropped. Investigators traced the failure to the forward left wing spar. The NTSB found that an improper repair had included splicing the spar and rejoining it with a sleeve. The pilot did not survive. So who carries more responsibility here? The pilot flying after the repair, or the person who repaired the wing? Write your opinion in the comments. September 15th, 2023, Bellevue, Washington. A Seawind 3000 amphibious airplane was taking off from Lake Sammamish. The water near the shoreline looked calm. That was the trap. During the step phase of takeoff, the airplane hit a lake swell and skipped on the water 3 times. Witnesses said the engine sounded normal. On the third skip, the airplane pitched up sharply, climbed about 30 to 40 feet, then nosed down into the lake. Investigators found no engine or airframe failure that would explain it. The NTSB confirmed the cause: loss of control after encountering a lake swell during takeoff. The pilot did not survive. The passenger was seriously injured. September 2nd, 2023, Englewood, Colorado. A Cessna 172S was on an instructional flight at Centennial Airport. This was not a stall, and it was not a pilot mistake. During initial climb, the airplane hit multiple geese. The bird strike caused a loss of engine power, leaving the instructor with no runway ahead. He kept the airplane straight and forced it down on a golf course. The airplane nosed over and sustained substantial damage. The NTSB confirmed the cause: an in-flight collision with multiple geese during initial climb. Both people on board had minor injuries. August 23rd, 2023, West Jordan, Utah. An experimental Cassutt race airplane was on a test flight before an upcoming air race. Before takeoff, there were already warning signs. The day before, the pilot reported oil temperature pegged at 280 degrees. On the accident day, another pilot saw only about 10 pounds per square inch of oil pressure at idle. The pilot had also found metal flakes in the oil screen and changed the oil that same day. After takeoff, the airplane climbed, made an abrupt right turn, dropped a wing, and went nose down. Investigators found severe engine wear, but could not prove how much it affected the flight. They also found the airplane had been modified into a T-tail design, with a known elevator deadband during turns. The NTSB confirmed a loss of control during initial climb, but the exact reason could not be determined. The pilot did not survive. August 20th, 2023, Greer, South Carolina. A Beech C-23 took off from Shandell Airport on a post-maintenance test flight. The annual inspection had just been completed. Soon after takeoff, a witness heard the engine power reduce, then increase again. The engine did not sputter or backfire. At about 500 feet, the left wing dipped twice, and the airplane began descending. Investigators found no mechanical failure that would have prevented normal operation, but the weather was favorable for serious carburetor icing at idle power. The NTSB confirmed a partial loss of engine power from carburetor ice during initial climb. The report also said the pilot failed to maintain proper airspeed during the emergency descent, leading to a stall. The pilot and mechanic did not survive. August 1st, 2023, Long Beach, California. 2 instructional Cessnas were on the ground at Long Beach Airport. The Cessna 152 had just completed the engine start checklist. The student set the parking brake. Both pilots had their feet on the brake pedals. Then, both of them looked down to plug in their headsets. That was enough. The airplane rolled forward and struck the wing of a taxiing Cessna 172S. Investigators found no mechanical failure in either airplane. The NTSB confirmed the cause: the flight instructor's inattention during ground operations. Nobody was injured. What makes these 20 accidents so powerful is that they were not all the same kind of mistake. Some began with engine problems, some came from maintenance errors, some started with weather, water, birds, or a bad landing decision. And in a few cases, the airplane was already on the ground when the accident sequence began. But the pattern is clear. Small details become critical when there is no time, no altitude, or no second chance. That is why official reports matter. The video shows the impact. The investigation shows what led to it. Tell me in the comments which accident surprised you the most, and which one you think was the most preventable. If this video helped you understand these accidents better, share it with a friend who follows aviation or flight safety. And if you want more breakdowns from official aviation reports, subscribe to the channel.